Alright, hello everybody. Well, got another project here that I'm working on. Show you what's going on here. We got a place that's got the ceiling falling in, and it's a plaster ceiling. Plaster's a pain in the butt to repair. And yeah, it's just weird how it's coming down. It doesn't even look like it's very well supported by anything. I don't see any. It looks like that's plaster over sheetrock is what it looks like. And we've got two rooms that this has happened. This room seems to be okay for the most part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some 1x4s and we're going to make a grid across the hole, and then we're going to take those panels, beadboard, and we're going to cover this room. This one's easy because it's enclosed and you got up to here, but you can see that this part right here is going to be the tricky part, where the kitchen and the living room have the same ceiling height, so I'm going to have to do something right there at the doorway to kind of change it, which ain't going to be a big deal because I can just put a thin strip of something right there. But I think there is some pipes up there that are leaking into the kitchen, and I can't tell if they're still leaking, but there is water on the floor here, so I'm going to have to go on the roof and double check, unless it has something to do with that being completely open. And if it rains real hard, I think the water might come in there, maybe. They have it there's kind of a funky thing going on upstairs, or up in the pipes, up in the ceiling. So what I'm going to do is, these are 16 on center. Boards, which is good. This ceiling has actually been lowered at some point because there is another ceiling above that is old, the old tin squares. So this ceiling has been lowered, but you can see right there, it looks like it wants to come down some more in that spot. So yeah, and we'll just make some marks, 16 on center here. I got a hole here so I can kind of tell where I want to start. I marked those boards. I marked this first board with the 16 on center right there, which matches up with that, starting from the corner. And we'll go over and we'll see how this goes. I wasn't going to use screws because I thought this was just all plaster, but maybe I can get through it with screws, so we'll see how it goes. I was thinking about getting a nail gun and making it go faster that way. I prefer screws to nails because they don't come out. They don't wiggle out like nails do, so we'll see how that goes. So, I started a couple screws that was already here that I used, but you can see they sunk in there pretty easy, and they went through pretty easy, so I'll just use screws. And you see I got them all preset. That way when you put your board up there, you don't have to fiddle with them screws. Get them ready to go and just zip them right up. So I gotta go get me some screws. So I did the math to figure out what I need, and up there I want to have, in the center, I want to have around that light full sheet, and then I want to build around that so it looks even. And so I need to measure what it is from there to there, take away the width of these boards, divide that by 3, or take what's left, and then I'm going to make the middle boards that go between the long way are going to be I want it to be 48. So that will get me a full sheet of a 4x8 panel up, and then from there I will divide the other two that are going to be on each end. I'll divide them in half, and I will get I got 38 and a half, so that's what it's going to be. You have to do a little bit more cutting, but it will look nicer. I want to get a panel right in the middle of that light fixture so it looks nice and clean, and I can just put a hole right in the middle of it and bam, I'll be done. I won't have to try to measure it off the wall, and that'll set me up for starting in the middle and then working my way into around the room. So I've already cut my 44-inch pieces. There's 4 of them there. That should get me, I don't know if that'll get me all the way, but it'll get me started. Then I'll be able to just put up these. I'll put up these will be 38 and a half, so I'll have 4 of them. And what I'll do is I'll start there and I will nail it up to wherever that goes, and then I'll do the same thing on this side, and then that should leave me the 44 in the middle, and it'll all line up. I won't have to sit there and measure anything. I just screw it up and it's done. All right, let's see how it goes. Actually, I'm gonna turn this around so I can see what's going on. My stand is not very good. It's more of a selfie stick than it is a stand, but it does stand up. So I'll just make our little mark right here, 38 and a half. I got these all nice and lined up on the end here. And these don't have to be perfect. You're never going to see them, so. And because I got my saw as deep as it'll go. I made a mark in the 3rd board, and I can just put them on the other 2 boards that have already been cut, and bam. Done skis. And then I'll throw some screws in them, and I'll put them up. Since these boards are already marked, if I've got a line on them, I can line up these boards right in between them, between the marks. Boom, piece of cake, fast and easy. It's all about keeping that customer happy and getting the job done quick, because I'm pretty busy and I ain't got time to screw around. Other people might screw around on the job. I don't, because I just don't have the time to. I mean, I know you could make more money and, just kind of do whatever. Kind of tell there's been some water damage in here. I don't know exactly what happened, but it looks like the up above is a little bit different design. I think the bathroom is above the kitchen, and I think the bathroom up above is above this bedroom. Because I peeked up above and I seen all the pipes, and I think that's what happened. Is they had a plumbing leak, and this is what caused all the problems. So. Boom shakalaka. enough. That might hit. And then we'll just keep on repeating that all the way down. So I put the next board up. Grab another one of these. Make sure where we're at. Help us get our space in here. Go. Now what I have to do is throw some screws in these other boards and put them up. Alright, so second board going down the length of the room is a little long, so we're going to cut it off and fit it in there. Alright, so I'm going to show you this. The light's going to be in the middle, and you can see that over here I've got an extra one, and I'm going to do that all the way across because that's between those two boards right there is about where the end of the 4x8 sheet's going to be. So I'm going to beef that up, and then get the rest of this done, and I will start another video since I'm at 15 minutes, and I'll have a part 2 to this. All right.